Hello. Multiple myeloma, the most important topic I think for OSPE related question, and a very few very typical question are asked regarding multiple myeloma, and usually a picture of serum protein electrophoresis is given like this, and the typical question which are usually asked I have put here on the left upper corner. This question will be solved here, and a basic very clear scenario, clinical scenario usually given on the question sheet like this: a 60 years male or female patient present with generalized body ache over the last 1 to 2 years, and over the last few months he or she developed low back pain. Answer the following question after reviewing this pictorial question. Okay. Now at first look at the image here. Actually this is a picture of serum protein electrophoresis. At first it is the bar for serum albumin which is quite normal, then alpha 1 normal, alpha 2 normal, this is actually beta 1, this is on beta 1, and there may be beta 1 and beta 2 also, there may be here beta 2. And look at here, this is the gamma. The gamma usually not so high, very minimum in normal person, but here the gamma is very high. Sometimes rather than gamma, beta 2 may be like this. That means beta 2 may be high or gamma may be high. Either one is high in serum protein electrophoresis of multiple myeloma. Okay. Now, what is the abnormality? So, the abnormality of this picture is monoclonal gammopathy. The answer is monoclonal gammopathy. You have to write this way: monoclonal gammopathy. Okay. Next, what type of gammopathy? It may be just gamma is high or beta 2 is high. Okay. So what other diagnostic test? That means how will you investigate this patient showing high level of monoclonal gamma paraprotein? So investigation of multiple myeloma, actually you are asked. So we know the investigation of multiple myeloma are only three. Confirmatory investigation diagnostic modality is: number 1, serum or urine electrophoresis, protein electrophoresis of course. Number 2, bone marrow study which will show plasmacytosis. This plasmacytosis means abnormal or atypical plasma cell in the bone marrow more than 10%, mind it, more than 10%. And number 3, skeletal survey. Usually X-ray of skull is done where lytic lesion usually found. Okay. When patient present with low back pain or a spinal symptom, then MRI of a spine. Okay. So these three are the basic investigation. These three are confirmatory investigation for multiple myeloma. Other investigation of course can be done before these. Here CBC, complete blood count with ESR with PBF. In CBC the finding will be patient may be anemic, of course. This anemia may be normocytic or megaloblastic. ESR, of course, ESR will be high. And in PBF That is mark rouleau formation. The spelling is very difficult. Rouleau, R-O-U-L-E-A-U-X. Increase or mark rouleau formation. CRP of course will be high. Another investigation, serum calcium which will be high. Okay, serum creatinine should be done to see the evidence of renal impairment. Okay, and when serum calcium is high, in this case you must exclude hyperparathyroidism, as because in hyperparathyroidism of course there should be lytic lesion. So here related question is, what are the cause of lytic lesion in bones? What are the causes of lytic lesion of bones? So number 1, multiple myeloma. Number 2, hyperparathyroidism. Hyperparathyroidism. And number 3, secondary deposit in bones. Okay, so these 3 questions and these 3 sites where lytic lesion, these 3 cause where lytic lesion are most commonly found. So when serum calcium is high, you should investigate this patient for hyperparathyroidism. That means PTH and serum phosphate, and of course alkaline phosphatase, as because we know alkaline phosphatase is present only when there is bony fracture. Okay, so this alkaline phosphatase may be increased, of course increase in multiple myeloma where patient already have multiple fracture. Now, so these are the question and these are the investigation what should be done in this patient. Now next question, number 3, what are the poor prognostic factor of these diagnosis? Our diagnosis is multiple myeloma, mind it. So what are the poor prognostic factor of multiple myeloma? There are several poor prognostic factor. The most important prognostic factor is number 1, high level of beta 2 microglobulin. Okay, and number 2, low level of serum albumin at diagnosis. During diagnosis, the low level of serum albumin and high level of beta 2 microglobulin, these 2 are the most important poor prognostic factor. Of course there are some other poor prognostic factor like low level of hemoglobin, that is anemia, then high level of serum calcium, then high level of LDH, then bone marrow plasmacytosis is more than 50%. Mind it, the diagnostic criteria for multiple myeloma is plasmacytosis in the bone marrow is more than 10%, but poor prognostic factor is when plasmacytosis in the bone marrow is more than 50%. Mind it, there are some other poor prognostic factor like evidence of renal impairment, that is in high level of serum creatinine. Another one, thrombocytopenia, and the last not the least is presence of cytogenetic abnormality. That means the genetic abnormality, cytogenetic abnormality. There may be multiple or single abnormality here. So these are the poor prognostic factor in multiple myeloma patient. Okay, the most important question is the number 4, I think. What are the neurological feature of a multiple myeloma patient? So what are the neurological feature of multiple myeloma patient? Number 1, neurological feature of multiple myeloma patient is headache. Most commonly patient usually complain or present with this headache plus and or visual abnormality. Okay, headache and visual abnormality. It is actually due to hyperviscosity syndrome. Okay, hyperviscosity. Headache and visual disturbance is usually due to hyperviscosity. Number 2, patient may present with features of peripheral neuropathy like paresthesia, burning, numbness or tingling, pain and needle sensation. It is actually due to this peripheral neuropathy is due to amyloidosis. We know amyloidosis is on type of paraprotein, and here the paraprotein produced by the abnormal plasma cell cause amyloidosis, and this amyloidosis is responsible for peripheral neuropathy. Number 3, neurological sign in multiple myeloma is weakness or paresis of lower limb, most important, and loss of control of bowel and bladder. That means patient lost the control over his or her bowel and bladder, as well as weakness or paresis or even paralysis of the lower limb. This is actually due to a spinal cord compression due to extradural plasmacytoma. Mind it, this plasmacytoma is one type of multiple myeloma. Okay, so these 3 is the most important neurological manifestation of multiple myeloma. Is the most important question, as because we usually forget this neurological manifestation. Now number 5 question, another clinical question, it is what is the cause or causes of disorientation of a multiple myeloma patient. Sometimes multiple myeloma patient may present us with disorientation or acute confusional state. So what is the cause of this disorientation in multiple myeloma patient? Okay, so cause of disorientation number 1, and it is the most important, is hypercalcemia. Hypercalcemia due to any cause like multiple myeloma, secondary metastasis, malignancy with secondary metastasis, or hyperparathyroidism, or any other cause may present with disorientation. Okay, so any disoriented patient should be investigated for serum calcium level. Okay, number 1, this is the most important. Number 2, uremic encephalopathy. In multiple myeloma, we know that paraprotein deposition occurs in the renal parenchyma glomerulus that leads to renal impairment, and from the renal impairment, patient may develop uremia and uremic encephalopathy. And number 3, patient may develop electrolyte imbalance other than hypercalcemia. Of course, electrolyte abnormality. So these 3 are the causes of disorientation of multiple myeloma patient. Okay. Now another most important question is, what are the modality of immediate treatment of multiple myeloma patient? Multiple myeloma patient may be symptomatic and asymptomatic. Usually the asymptomatic patient don't require any treatment. Okay, but in symptomatic patient may need some emergency treatment. Now question is, what are the emergency treatment modality or option? Okay, as the patient usually with hypercalcemia, and hypercalcemia patient usually develop polyuria and dehydration. So at first, correction of dehydration by normal saline, usually that is 0.9% solution, sodium chloride solution. Okay, this is the first step. Number 2, as patient body ache, body pain, severe pain may be analgesic. You may use a non-steroidal anti-inflammatory drug or opioid or non-opioid, both class of drug. Number 3, another A, allopurinol to prevent urate nephropathy, you know. Next point is bisphosphonate. Okay, usually bisphosphonate used in multiple myeloma is pamidronate or zoledronate. This is actually, of course, IV. So IV zoledronate, bisphosphonate to prevent the osteoclastic resorption of bone. Okay, then steroid IV. Another option is calcitonin. Calcitonin usually used in nasal spray as nasal spray form. Okay, nasal spray form. Sometimes we use denosumab, monoclonal antibody, denosumab. So these are the treatment option for immediate treatment option of multiple myeloma: dehydration, correction of dehydration, analgesic, allopurinol, bisphosphonate, steroid, calcitonin, and denosumab. Okay. Now the next question here: causes of lytic lesion. Already I discussed here. What are the cause of name 3 cause of lytic lesion? Number 1, multiple myeloma. Number 2, hyperparathyroidism, and number 3, secondary deposit in the bone marrow. If you want to know other cause of lytic lesion, it may be lymphoma, leukemia like chronic lymphocytic leukemia. Okay. So this is all about the typical question regarding multiple myeloma. Thank you very much.